Hi, my name is Suzanne. For my field trip, I went to the Kadampa Buddhist Center in Lancaster, Pennsylvania for a Buddhist meditation. When I got there, the teacher, James, walked over and asked if I had ever been there before, if I had ever been to a Buddhist meditation before. I told him I hadn't, so he walked me through what to expect. They rent a room every Thursday evening in a different church, and so they ask everyone who attends to make a $10 donation to help pay for the rent. So he had me go do that and take off my coat and go grab a folding chair. There was only 6 people there when I got there. They were all regulars. They all knew each other. He got started by just closing the door and sitting down. I guess I was kind of expecting it to be more like church, where there's like a ceremonial entrance of the teacher. But that didn't happen, and that was fine. It's just not exactly what I was expecting. I expected everyone to be sitting on cushions on the floor, and we were all in folding chairs. I was expecting everyone to have to take their shoes off, and nobody did. So it was just a little different right from the very get-go than what I was kind of expecting it to be. So he started us off with some guided meditation. He had the whole room softly lit. He had a big table across the front of the room that was covered with beautiful fabrics and shawls. And there was a big book on the top of the table called the Tripitaka, also known as the Pali Canon, which is the word of Buddha. So it's like a Christian having the Bible or a Jewish person having the Torah. He didn't refer to it. He didn't read from it. It was just there, but it was clearly given like a place of honor, and it was a very important, part of the whole ceremony. So he started us off with this guided breathing. He told us when to close our eyes. He told us when to inhale, when to hold our breath, when to exhale. And it was really just to relax and to open up our minds to be more open to what we were going to hear him lecture about. So for about 10 minutes or so, we did that. And then he had us wiggle our fingers and open our eyes. And he just kind of sat there very quietly for a couple of moments. And then he started with his lecture. So what they do is called a self-contained continuing lecture. So they have like a theme for a couple of months, and then every week the lecture that he gives will be related to that theme, and they kind of build on each other. But they're also self-contained. So each one is fine just to jump in like I did, but it was also very meaningful to the people that were there every week that it built on what they had been talking about the week before. So the lecture that day was on the ultimate bodhicitta, which is the awakening of the mind. So this has to do with complete and total happiness, and wanting complete and total happiness for everyone around you for their sake, not for your sake. It's not like, wow, my mom is so grouchy today. I wish she was in a better mood. I'm going to make her a cup of tea so she won't be mad at me so I can have a better day. It's more like just wishing that she could have tea so she could be happy, not looking for that end result for yourself. And he talked for about a half an hour about that. It was all very interesting, and it gave me a lot of things to think about. And then we did a Buddhist chant called a Theravada prayer. This one was on loving and kindness. He invited me to sing along if I wanted, or to just sit and enjoy and listen to it if I wanted. He had a recording of a group, singing these chants. And when that was over, he had us do another meditation on what the lesson was of the day. So it was another guided meditation. This was about 10 or 15 minutes long. Again, with the breathing, and he kind of guided us into a very relaxed state, and then kind of repeated the key parts of his lecture as just things to think about, and kind of like planting seeds in our minds of things that we would meditate on our own. The people who go regularly would meditate on that all week long and then come back and kind of get more information. When it was over, I felt very calm and very peaceful, and I really enjoyed it. I've actually gotten an app on my phone since then, and I meditate at least once every single day since then. More often than not, it's twice a day. I do a guided breathing meditation where it's got music that already plays, and a person who guides me through the breathing. And then there's also one that I got that builds on itself. You can choose 14 days or 21 days. and you know, I've done them on loving and kindness. I've done them on forgiveness. I've done them on relief from pain. So it's really been kind of life altering for me to have had this experience and to be able to incorporate it into my life. So that's what my midterm paper was on. For my final paper, to wrap all this up, I'm trying to figure out how I connect the Buddhism that I enjoy with the Christianity that's kind of the center of me. So Buddhists don't believe in Jesus, and that's kind of my big sticking point. I love the meditation. I love all of their teachings on kindness and on giving and on being selfless. But I'm not willing to give up my core beliefs in my Christianity. And so I'm trying to figure out how I take the best of Buddhism and the best of Christianity and I mesh them together for myself. There's a monk named Thomas Merton who has written extensively about this and about ways to put them together and ways that you really can't put them together. So I've been reading a lot of that. And so that's how I think I'm going to wrap it up is how do I incorporate the best of Buddhism with the best of Christianity without losing what's important about either of them. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you.